Okay, I am live, is what StreamYard says, and I'm very happy to be alive. Thank you, God, for keeping us safe. I'm coming. We're all well. Some of the authors are broadcasting today from Florida, so we've been in the midst of some very big and small and medium big tropical storms. So we're happy to be here on a Monday night on August 5th, and we're going to have a great conversation tonight. We are going to introduce to those of you that are listening through LinkedIn Live. I just noticed that we're on live LinkedIn Live right now, and we're also on Facebook Live, and we're also on our YouTube channel. So for those of you coming aboard, we're going to have a fun topic. We're going to talk about a brand new book that's coming out. It's called Leaving Stronger Than You Started. And just a moment, I'm getting some feedback. One second. There we go. Okay. So I was just about to say that we're going to talk about all things collaboration books and all things anthology, and then we're going to get into a little bit of what we've already started here as we're working on this collaboration project. So my name is Lisa Marie Garcia, even though you can see it on the live, and I'm with CBF, which is CEO Book Publishing. And I'm going to bring up some of our collaboration co-authors right now. We've got Sandra Attilas Tyrell. Sorry, let me add you to the stage. We have Nia Dasani from the Pacific Northwest, has a few more hours in her day than we do today. And we have Jay Harrington joining the studio. So hello, co-authors. How are you?
Awesome.
Hi, good. How are you?
Great. All right. Well, the first thing I thought we would talk about, and this is just a very casual, fun conversation. So feel free to interject if I miss a point or if I forget something. I thought I'd just explain to the viewers what an anthology is, right? So an anthology can be a fiction book, it can be a nonfiction book, and it's any kind of book. And look at the cute little ones we have that want to pipe in and tell us more. It could even be a children's books, right? There's children's books that are anthologies, and basically it's where every chapter can be self-contained, is one of the definitions. So it's not a book that you're, getting to chapter 3 and you just got to turn the page to see what happens for chapter 4. It's standalone chapters, and it's also an anthology is a book that has several authors. So that's another fun thing about that. So that's what we've been building. So we've been working in our publishing house on our next anthology book, called Leaving Stronger Than You Started. And the other thing about anthologies books is they're called collaboration books. And that trend is something I've probably seen for a few years, maybe 3 or 4 years, but I've really noticed a huge upswing, a huge uptick in collaboration books in the last couple of years for sure. It seems like every time I turn around, I'm either invited to be part of a collaboration book on LinkedIn, or potentially I am, I'm seeing books being published that are collaboration books. So that's what we're building. So that's kind of a good definition, don't you think? Does anyone? I'm going to go to comments and see if anyone has comments for that on stage or otherwise. Good. All right, let's bring Jay back. All right. So what I wanted, no, it's all good. It's just, it's all of us tonight. It's 7:30 out here and we're off work, but yet we're talking about books. So,
Sure.
All right. So the other thing I thought we'd talk about is, what is the title of this book and what does it mean? And I'll go ahead and kick it off. And then I want to kind of go to each of you and have you maybe expand on that. So the title of the book, we love it. We think it's a strong title and we think it's an impactful title, Leaving Stronger Than You Started. And we've got a picture of it. I should put it up. I'll have to do that so it's more clear. But we've got a picture of doors that we're going through. So we're leaving that, right? Just a moment. I have to clear my throat. Thank you. And so the book is about impactful life events, family events, professional events that a number of these remarkable co-authors have been through, and talking about where they started, what they went through, and then how they came out the other end. much stronger. So, Sandra, would you mind expanding on that just a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in my case, I think as first of all, as I saw the title of the book, right, it's like, okay, what makes my experience unique or whatever that might be. Then I think, okay, well, there's a group of 12 authors here, and I'm just going in my mind, man, this is pretty cool that each of our separate stories, like all of us have gone through something,
Right.
everyone, we're not unique, but what makes it awesome is that we are together. We're not alone in the madness that
Yeah,
brought us to where we are right now. And that kind of like gave me a little more inspiration on
that's
sharing my
good.
story.
I love it. Nia, you were one of our first authors that joined the book. How do you feel about the title and what does it mean to you?
I think it just means exactly what I have felt all these years coming to America and also living my childhood in a certain way. And for me, I've created this quote for myself which says, in the silence of our struggles, we find the strength to rise and the
Hmm.
courage to speak our truth. And so, every chapter, every setback that you have in our life is a chapter in our story. So it's a testament to our resilience, our
Good,
courage that propels us to move forward.
good.
And a lot of times people forget that these setbacks are the reason that you would actually work hard to do something more in your life. And if you didn't have those setbacks, I mean, where are you going to get your inspiration from? So I think the title is just perfect because our unique chapters, and I'm so excited to hear about every single story that's dedicated in this book because all of us are so indifferent but and so unique and still so wonderful.
Hmm.
Whoops, have to take myself off mute. I love that. We're going to talk about how you
Yeah,
said,
good.
every single chapter, every single person. So, Jason, how do you feel about the title that we're offering in the book?
Yeah, no, I think you know, uh, well, we enter this world one way, and when we leave, we should be stronger than when we started. And it's kind of as Nia said, it's a lot of it is suffering. She used the word setbacks, but a lot of suffering, and it's just like a smooth sea never made for a skilled sailor, and that's just kind of what you experience along life and pretty much everything. And you learn how to suffer, not you learn how to suffer well through it all, and grow from it, grow from each and everything that you kind of go through. So yeah, that's really all I could say about that. But I'm excited about kind of what all 12 of these authors can bring to the table, and I'm excited about reading other people's stories. I just can't wait.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. We have Erica also, Erica Lee, that's also a co author. She, if she wants to contribute, um, please unmute. If not, it's okay. We've got so many authors in this collaboration books. I just invited everybody. But what you learn as you get older, and actually, what is it? If you had 100 people stand in the room and you said, "Raise your hand if you've gone through something tough." Raise your hand if you've gone through trauma in your life. Raise your hand if you've gone through something horrific, horrific action or something that you thought you'd never get through, right? Or you'd never get past, or you would never imagine that you had to go through. I mean, nearly everyone, given a certain age, has had to experience something either themselves personally or with someone close that they love or a friend, right? So we know that, those are the difficulties in life. And unfortunately, we also know others that, for whatever reason of all kinds, right? Maybe they didn't move through the difficulty, but this book is about moving through the difficulty, whether it was, a low or medium or high or horrific, type of difficulty. And there's all those kind of stories that you've all presented to us. And we've been putting together in this book, but it's about how you came through that. And then, okay, what is the wisdom? What is the wisdom you can share? What is the, extra hope and inspiration that you can give to someone else that's going through something maybe very similar, to what you went through? And Erica, hello. What can you, thank you for joining the conversation. I'm taking it by your unmuted behavior that you want to add a little bit. Please do. So let us know how you feel about this title and how you feel about the message that we're wanting to convey.
Hi, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Great. I, I love the title personally, Leaving Stronger Than When You Started, because I think as y'all have said, as you go through things, you're just transformed by them. And I think that um leaving stronger than you started, it really just makes me kind of reflect on just the resilience that's grown every time you do go through some
Hmm.
change or transformation in your life. In my own personal story, being young and dealing with various different kinds of health issues that have now informed how I live my life and how I want to live my life. Um, Sometimes you might not feel strong, um, but that transformation is a way to really talk about the way that change has made you better, so part of my story is really talking about vulnerability and uh, living through what you're living through, acceptance in the moment, and then realizing that that once you're transformed, you're better. Even if you don't feel strong, you are. So that's kind of why I love the book and I love the collaboration. I cannot wait to read everybody else's stories and how this pertains to their lives as well. It's been a really exciting journey up to this point.
Thank you so much. Yes, I know you guys can't wait to read each other's stories, and we're almost there. It's so actually that leads us to what I want to talk about. I thought we'd spend just a little bit of time talking kind of about the process, right? So the majority of you co-authors in this book, collaborators, contributors, we have all those names and labels for you, our debut, our debut authors, right? So it's the first thing you've ever written. We have actually, Jerry had some issues. He's kind of our superstar because this is his third book. And he's been a published author 2 times, and now this is the third one. So he's been on this journey, and it's different for everyone. Everyone has a different perspective from where they experience the journey, and every publisher, every publishing house, every editor, every they call them ghostwriters, we call them content editors. They all do things differently. So that's one thing about the publishing industry. There are no standards, and it's very different. But I thought we would talk about the process that we've gone through and how it started so far and where we're at. So where we're at is all of you know that once you gave us the green light and said, yes, you'd like to be a part of this, we had given you an intake form that you filled out, and you had a conversation with our editor, who actually is very sick. I think she's on the mend. I don't know if it's COVID, but she's lost her voice also.
Oh,
And
no.
just the trooper that she is. I know, Trisha, you all know her. The trooper that she's just trying to be there. I know. And I said, no, and no, get better. It will be fine. But you all met with her on for your one-on-one to start to listen. Oh, and look, as I say that, guess who's trying to come on stage? Trisha. I don't know if we should let her. If
She's awesome.
She's probably listening, saying, come on, what's going on? No, we'll let her on if she wants to come on stage. So you met with her. You then went to work on downloading your content, telling your story, just like most of us. It's not like we just have one story or one struggle, or, we've had a long enough life to have different, we call them seasons, right? Difficult seasons and great seasons of abundance, but some difficult seasons that we've had to work through. And so you narrowed it down to one. Maybe I've heard a couple of you have a couple of them in your chapter, and you wrote your chapter. Now your chapters have been edited. They are being, that's content edit. Now they're going to be copy edited, and then you all get to read them. And then the last thing is the format or branded edited editorial. And meanwhile, we have the book cover ready to go. And we are getting close to our book release. So you've given us, there's a whole bunch of other details in there, right, that I kind of glossed over a little bit, like your headshots that we had done, and you've given us your information about, who you represent, and just a lot of those little details that are in there. But we've gathered it all, and it's going to become this beautiful book. So that's really the process in a nutshell so far, right? And what you guys know. Does anyone have any feedback on that before we leave that subject? And I'm going to ask Trisha if she wants to come on stage, but feel free.
Well, I'll say something. Like you said earlier, most of us have never really written a book. And I believe I was stuck for over a week on the first sentence. I was like, I know I have a lot to say because that's how I got in here. Because when I met you, you were like, oh my God, you have a lot to say. I was like, and then all of a sudden I can't write one sentence. I'm like, who is this person, right? But after speaking with Trisha, everything from there, the process was so smooth and magician. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
It's
I
so
do
funny.
want
It's
to
easier
add-
said than done, right? Go ahead,
I
Nia.
want to add, Lisa, that it's been the most seamless experience working with you and Trisha. And I'm not an avid writer. Neither English was ever my first language. But it's been, amazing to see when you put your soul into something that you believe you can really write well, and to also get that feedback from Trisha meant a lot. So thank you for actually giving this opportunity. A lot of people don't have that, and I think this has been such a great experience. And I think collaborative book project is so wonderful because I get to meet some unbelievable people right here.
Yeah.
So such a nice comment. Yeah, right. Thank you. Thanks for that. And it's well, I'll tell you what, that leads us right into the next point I was going to make. What is the purpose of this book? And really, what is our purpose, period, right? I mean, if we all won the lottery, I don't know for sure that we'd all be doing exactly what we're doing in our work, right? Because I always reminding my daughters, it's called work, not vacation. That means sometimes I'm not doing exactly right what I want to do, but I have to work, right, to make a living. And so I guess what I'm saying is, although I hope all of us on this, and I hope those of you that are listening to this, do have work that you feel is purposeful and you do understand your purpose. That's a huge thing. And I know, I believe I'm doing purposeful work, and I believe that this is what my purpose is. And so it's not just let's just publish another book. It's let's publish a book that has a purpose. And the purpose here is to give hope. The bottom, base of this book. Yes, I hope it's inspiring. I hope it's very wonderfully written and impactful and people love it. But I hope that it does affect someone that really needed that chapter to read, to let them stand on hope, right? And to have hope. So, and so that's the purpose of this book. And that is where we don't just publish, it's book publishing takes a little bit of time. I think you guys kind of know that, right? It takes a little bit of effort. Just kind of kidding there. But I mean, there's just not enough hours in the day to just do things that aren't purposeful. It in the end, it doesn't work. So that was a point that I wanted to make. Let me just ask, and I'm asking if there's comments too, because we've got in the live stream on the different platforms. Does anyone want to share? We don't have to give away the whole chapter, but do you want to share what the hope is that you might be giving, that you believe you're trying to convey in your chapter, or what a purposeful part of the chapter that you're sharing might be? Just to put y'all on the spot.
Okay. Well, in my case, I'm going to try to be short and sweet, of course. I'm try, but and I think it's the end goal for all of us, that you can achieve, you can do whatever you set, you put your heart into. Doesn't matter the setbacks. We all come from very diverse backgrounds, I believe, like, different experiences, etc. And those different backgrounds are so, unique. And I hope that there's going to be, there's 12 different stories that should, like, somebody will identify with all of them. And we can tell them, hey, I know it's really hard right now, or it was really hard, but listen, I've done this. Jay has said that, Nia has done that, and here we are sharing our experiences and our stories. It wasn't that bad if we're here.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's good. May I go?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Uh,
Please.
so yeah, that's good. Thank you for everyone here, and all your words have just been wonderful. And Trisha, thank you. If you're tuning in and listening, just thank you for everything. Really, truly, you have really just helped focus me, no doubt. So, but I guess the message I convey, I guess, to my chapter, Christ. I mean, he literally transformed me in an instant. And I was a money hungry New York City, Manhattanite attorney for a long while. And I dabbled in anything and everything you can think of in a city where you can get anything and everything you can want in 20 minutes with a text or a phone call. And I developed a lot of addictions. And, and then one day it just, Christ, I just surrendered it. And that's my hope, is that there is a God who's out there who loves us and wants a relationship with each and every one of us. And he will take your shame and take your guilt and take your past and use it for good. And I've watched that transformation over the past X amount of years, and it's been a beautiful, beautiful journey. So it's been adventurous too.
I love your share. There's something I seem to be saying over and over ad nauseum to my soon to be college first year. Actions speak louder than words, right? We all know that. And there are, what you said, Jason, people can say, I've heard this pastor say, believe in Jesus and trust in Jesus. I've heard lots of people, speak Christian to me. Forget the speaking, the actions, what you're writing about in your book. You're showing something that you went through. That's the actions of what you live and what you believe. And that's the hope that we hope people see, regardless of any religion or no religion. This book, right, is to show, look, this is the personal experience I had. This is what happened to me during that personal experience. And this is what shaped me and the way I let it move me forward. Yeah. Right or wrong, it's not right or wrong. It's how I moved forward from it. It's how I, as a contributor, decided to gain the wisdom that I saw that was wisdom to me, that let me move through it. And that's what I love about this book that you guys are putting together, is that you're showing people what you did. Without, and you don't need words for that. Words are needed. You don't need words for it, but our editor and writer makes the great words come together. And Trisha is staying backstage, so we'll just give her lots of warmth with our words so she can get better. We appreciate her. But that's the goal of I believe, for our company. I can't speak for everybody. For our company, that's the goal of these collaboration books, because they are so unique. Anthologies are so unique from, the other genres of books where, okay, you want to not only, give inspiration, and like I said, give hope in one chapter. You want it to be so impactful that you're like, okay, now I want to read about Erica's chapter. She's the next one. What is she going to tell me about something, about something great? So we're really looking forward to releasing this book. And let me take a moment and give some facts regarding that. So for those of you that are listening and watching, this book is going to be released next month, September, and the date is September 24th of 2024. And the great thing, all the co-authors know about this already, it's not a secret, but the great thing is we've decided to make this one of our most unique book releases, where we're calling it a triple header. And what that means is we're actually going to have, over the span of 2.5 days, 3 different book release events. That's all I'm going to give you, because I haven't, it's not set in stone yet, but I have one places I really wanted to have us launch. It looks like it's going to happen. I can't announce it yet. But just so everyone knows, one of the releases we are going to have a panel event too, because we have authors out of state and across the nation. So not all of them are local to Tampa, but we also have authors that are flying in, like our Nia is flying in. I don't know how she's doing flying through the night because she's coming off another business trip, and she lives all the way across the nation, Seattle to Tampa. You almost couldn't get further away, but she's going to be here joining us. It's going to be quite a great book release. We are going to be going on pre-sale this week, and we are going to have some fun deals, just to let you know, right? We're going to have some fun deals for some pre-orders. So I wanted to make sure before we ended and we were all happy and said goodbye that I gave you the facts, and I can say, check, we're good with that. Okay. All right. Well, let's see, how are we on time? And let me just check comments. So we have a little bit still, we have a little more time. All right. Well, one of the aspects, and someone brought it up, it might have been Jay. One of the parts of this book is we've asked you co-authors and collaborators to dedicate their chapter to someone or to multiple family members, or even just, I think what we had said was something about, even dedicated to the time that you're in now, right? Time flies so fast, as we know. I mean, this year is almost over. How did that happen? I mean, I just thought, I was like, here's my new calendar, 2024, it's going to be a new year. But it does fly. And if anything, we think about COVID, all of us listening on this, sometimes it seems like it's 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And in other ways, it was just like, oh my gosh, we just stopped wearing masks. But it's just so incredible to me. I don't think I'm the only one, but it's incredible to me on how time seems to fly. So can you talk to, and actually Jay will talk to you, and then we'll go to Erica and Nia and Sandra, kind of just talk to, where you find yourself right now, when you kind of stop and assess, what is your right now? And I assume all your dedication is based on, where you're on right now. Maybe just speak to that for a moment, if you would.
Yeah, I'm, man, God's been good. I got no complaints, I'm just I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I got a roof over my head. I have food on my table. I got work. Thank the Lord. My wife went through a season of, I run my own business. I'm a lawyer. I run my own business, and it was very, very slow. Very, very slow. That's a whole nother story I could write about. And pulled through. The Lord pulled us through on that. And we're in a good spot, man. Thank God. Beautiful wife, wonderful daughter. And I get this opportunity. I mean, this opportunity to write, and I'm so thankful and blessed for this moment. So I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jay. Erica, where are you at this moment in this chapter right now?
It's really interesting that you ask, and as you were saying before, you talk about who we kind of dedicated our books to, and I have to say, at the time, I'll say that I dedicated my chapter to my parents, because they've always showered me with so much love and support. And at the time, going through this Cushing's disease experience, they are the ones who really got me through it. I mean, I had never been in such a dark space in my life. When you're in your early 20s and your body totally rebels against you, it's a very tough thing to deal with. And interestingly enough, about 3 or 4 years later, the period I'm at in my life is that it appears that these issues are again kind of rearing their head, right? This is a cyclical, chronic thing to deal with. And so as I wrote the chapter and as I've gone through other things, it's just so timely to be reflecting on what happened all those years ago, but being equipped more to deal with it now, in love and community, and just being able to show gratitude that I'm still here to share the story, to provide hope. through my passion project that you can read about in my chapter, that I started a podcast website called Dreams of Wellness, where we can really just be in that space of vulnerability, no matter what life's challenges are, and come together, rest, and dream about what we can do by accepting our current circumstances, right? And so that's why I'm just pleased to be here. But this is an interesting phase of life, because as I was even writing the chapter, I was kind of like, wow, this is happening again, but it's kind of like, yeah, it doesn't feel so dreadful this time. I kind of have more hope, and so this is where I'm at currently.
Thank you, Erica. And see, I mean, you said the word, you said the hope word, right? And it's, what is that saying? It's kind of probably a stupid one, but we've all heard it. It's, one man's ceiling is another man's floor. I mean, it's that's a big word, perspective, right? And that word just is so important in so many instances. And I just am so happy, Erica. And I am a person that does not believe there's coincidence at all, and period. I do believe that, God is the King Almighty, and it's definitely the right timing for you. So I'm so happy you shared. All right, Nia. How's your chapter dedicated?
So I think the whole chapter is about how I have been silenced all my life. And I feel our voices are, the most powerful tools we have. So we have to let them echo with the stories that demand to be heard. And I really feel that at this time I had to listen to my heart, which was a year back, and do something that I wanted to do 20 years back, rather than being silenced and being doing things that I never wanted to do in my life. And when you put your heart and soul into something that you're passionate about, things will not come so easy,
Yeah,
because
that's right.
nothing comes easy. But if you continue and you stay consistent and persistent, things will start evolving for you. And I think the last 2 months have been absolutely amazing. There were times when I wanted to give up and I thought nothing's going to work for me. But I just kept on staying loud and clear with my goals and actions and my vision board. And it's just all coming together live in great ways.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to say, I'm not going to reveal who I'm dedicating this. So somebody has to read that chapter for that.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
Wonderful.
That's good.
Just so wonderful. All right, Sandra, tell us about
Well,
where you're at
in my
and your dedication.
yeah, absolutely. So where I am, I'm in a very blessed place right now. I am so thankful for everything, even all those bad experiences, right? So the book starts, I had a pretty rough childhood. I'm not unique in that, of course. But I came from a middle class family, like lots of hard work just to get me, put me through school, etc. I've paid for my tuition for college. I've worked like all sorts of jobs in male dominated industries, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, like, you have to read the chapter, right? But I finally was able to start my business in 2018. And well, actually that was 2018, but I finally was able to leave my job that I was working at the same time last year. So, or at the end of the last year. Thank you. It's so exciting. So, just to put all my time and energy, me and my husband into this business is amazing. I'm so blessed and thankful. And my dedication was so hard because I want to thank everyone. Like, I don't want to leave anyone behind. The people from the past helped me. I want to thank the people in the present who have inspired me. Like, even people like Lisa. I just met her, a few months ago. And I'm like, well, thank you, Lisa, for this opportunity. There's not enough space. That's another chapter of thanking and dedication. So thank you.
So sweet. I blasted my screen out. I was trying to unmute. Oh my gosh, you guys, isn't this funny? And there's only 5 or 4 of you here. And so we're going to have other promotional events and that, and some people can make it and some people can't. And it's a Monday night, but if we had, 10 more, what do we have? 17, 18 authors, we wouldn't have even had time. So how perfect did this work out? I appreciate all that you guys said. And I think we're going to wrap. If there's, I have something to say in closing, but unless anyone has anything else they want to say. Oh, there, the dog. That wasn't mine, thank goodness.
Yes.
But
He has something to say. He's hungry.
the dog said,
They were so
Yeah, that's
quiet
right.
earlier.
yeah. Oh, no, it always works that way, right? But okay, well, thank you. We are going to rebroadcast this, of course. And so whenever you're watching it, right now is the 5th, August 5th at 8 something in the evening on Eastern Coast time. But this book, Leaving Stronger Than You Started, published by CEO Book Publishing, will release on September 24th of this year. We're going to have a triple header. And I guess I can tell you at least one of the places that we're going to release the book is Barnes & Noble. So we'll announce that. But the book will be available on every format and be available every place books are sold. And it really is a special, special book. And you've got to now listen to 4 of our co-authors. There's many more with amazing, impactful stories. And meanwhile, just stay in touch, stay tuned, keep aligned with our social media, and you'll see much more information about the books and authors. Sandra, Nia, Erica, Jay, Trisha, our special guest, Trisha, who is putting it all together for us. Thank you so much for being part of the book. And here's to many book sales and many people that we touch with our message of hope.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
all.